Ever felt like you have spent hours staring at a textbook only to realize you haven't absorbed a single word? It is a frustrating feeling we have all been through, where the clock is ticking and your brain feels like a sieve. But what if I told you that effective studying is not about how many hours you log at your desk, but rather how you engage your brain during that time? Most of us were never actually taught how to learn. We were just told to do it. Today, we are going to fix that by diving into the most effective, science-backed strategies to help you study smarter, not harder, so you can actually enjoy your free time without the guilt of unfinished work. Let us start with the most powerful tool in your arsenal, which is active recall. Most people study by using passive methods like rereading their notes, highlighting text in bright colors, or watching a lecture over and over. While these feel productive, they are actually some of the least effective ways to learn because they only build familiarity, not mastery. Real learning happens when you try to retrieve information from your brain, not when you try to put it in. Instead of reading a chapter 5 times, read it once and then immediately close the book. Take a blank sheet of paper and try to write down everything you remember. It might feel difficult, and you might only remember a few points at first, but that mental strain is exactly what signals your brain to strengthen those neural pathways. You can do this with flashcards, practice questions, or even just by asking yourself what the main idea was after every few pages. Once you have started using active recall, the next step is to manage when you review that information, which brings us to spaced repetition. Have you ever spent an entire night cramming for a test, managed to pass, but then realized a week later that you could not remember a single thing? That happens because of the forgetting curve. Our brains are designed to filter out information they think is not important. To convince your brain that something is worth keeping, you need to review it at increasing intervals. Instead of studying a topic for 5 hours in one day, study it for 30 minutes over several days. Review the material after one day, then 3 days, then a week, and then a month. This process moves the information from your short-term memory into your long-term memory. There are fantastic digital tools like Anki or Quizlet that use algorithms to handle this schedule for you, showing you the concepts you struggle with more often and the ones you know well less frequently. Another incredible method to ensure you truly understand what you are learning is the Feynman technique. Named after the physicist Richard Feynman, the premise is simple. If you cannot explain a concept to a 6-year-old, you do not really understand it. To use this, grab a notebook and write the name of the topic you are studying at the top. Then, explain it in your own words as if you were teaching it to someone who has no background in the subject. Avoid using fancy jargon or complex terms. If you find yourself using a big word because you cannot think of a simpler way to say it, that is a gap in your knowledge. When you hit a wall or realize your explanation is getting confusing, go back to your source material and study that specific part until you can simplify it. This technique is like a diagnostic tool for your brain. It reveals exactly where your understanding is weak, so you can focus your energy where it matters most. Of course, even the best techniques will not work if you cannot focus. Creating the right environment is crucial for deep work. Your brain is a master at making associations. If you study in the same place where you eat or watch movies, your brain will not know it is time to focus. Try to have a dedicated study spot that is clean and free from visual clutter. And let us talk about the biggest distraction: your phone. Even having your phone on the desk, face down, takes up cognitive energy because a part of your brain is constantly resisting the urge to check it. Put it in another room or inside a drawer. To help manage your energy, try the Pomodoro technique. Set a timer for 25 minutes of deep, uninterrupted work and then take a 5-minute break to stretch. After 4 cycles, take a longer break. This structure prevents your brain from getting fatigued and helps you maintain a high level of intensity throughout your session. Finally, we have to talk about the physical foundation of learning. Your brain is a biological organ that requires specific conditions to function. The single most important factor for memory is sleep. When you sleep, your brain goes to work organizing and consolidating the information you learned during the day. If you do not sleep enough, you are essentially trying to write on a wet piece of paper. Nothing sticks. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality rest, especially before a big exam. Additionally, stay hydrated and try to move your body. Even a short walk increases blood flow to the brain and can spark new insights when you are feeling stuck. Improving your study habits is a journey of trial and error. You do not have to implement all of these changes today. Maybe just start by trying the Pomodoro technique during your next session or explain one concept to a friend using the Feynman technique. The goal is to move away from the stress of cramming and toward a more sustainable, enjoyable way of learning. You are more than capable of mastering any subject if you use the right strategy. Thank you so much for watching and for investing in yourself. If you found these tips helpful, please consider subscribing for more content on productivity and personal growth. Good luck with your studies, and I will see you in the next one.